What's up, Tweeners? Welcome back to another Tweener tennis video today here on the channel. And the Madrid Open is finally over. The singles final just happened. Zverev defeated Berrettini in 3 sets. So we are going to recap the men's singles draw in under 5 minutes for you. Here we go. To start off, Zverev wins his second Madrid Open, his second since 2018, his 15th career overall title, played an unbelievable match against Berrettini. Berrettini won the first set, 10-8 in the tiebreaker, but Zverev pushed on to win in 3 sets total. One of the best serving performances I've seen from both of them, at least on a clay surface. In my honest opinion, it was probably the best service match I've ever seen in my life, because both of them were averaging over 130 on the clay. And maybe because of the conditions and the altitude, the ball was flying a lot faster, but both were averaging well above 130 on their first serve. So that was a lot of fun to watch that match. I definitely recommend you guys go watching the highlights of that, because that's one of Zverev's best matches I think he's played this year. And Berrettini is on the comeback trail after not playing so much in 2020. So it was great to see him back in great form, playing someone like Zverev, who is supposed to be replacing someone like the big three. Now, speaking of the big three, Zverev downed Rafael Nadal in the quarterfinals and then beat Thiem in the semi. Something you don't say every day when you beat the king of clay, the overall best clay court player of all time, and then the prince of clay, who's supposed to take over for Rafa on the clay. So Zverev had an unbelievable run. Berrettini had an unbelievable run, playing flawlessly up until the finals. People that surprised me this tournament, John Isner. John Isner beat 2 seeded players back to back. First one being Bautista Agut, the 9 seed, and then beat the 6 seed. Don't know how that happened, but he did. In classic fashion, he had to go to a tiebreak at least in one of those sets, and it was back-to-back 3-set matches for him. So it was nice to see John Isner playing well again, but on clay, it really did surprise me, to say the least. 2 other players that stood out to me besides John Isner was Casper Ruud and Alexander Bublic. Bublic didn't make it as far as Casper Ruud. Casper Ruud made the semifinals of his first Masters 1000 tournament. And just like his idol, Rafael Nadal, the guy moves just like him, just as aggressively, and playing just as aggressive as him from the baseline. Seeing that whip that he can get on his forehand as well really does mirror the same actions and style as Rafael Nadal does on clay. So there's a lot more to be expected of him at the French. Same with Bublic. Bublic was very entertaining this week, playing doubles as well. He had probably one of the best shots I've ever seen. Just tapping it over, going around the net. It was unbelievable to watch. So I highly recommend you guys go watching this guy. He's very entertaining. He is dubbed the Nick Kyrgios if he tried more, but that's not my words. That's tennis Twitter words. So I would highly recommend you go checking our interview out that we did with him at the International Hall of Fame Open. Definitely recommend you guys go checking that out. And another one that surprised me was Medvedev. Medvedev wasn't the first one to crash out of the tournament. I even predicted Dimitrov to crash out in the first round, and it did happen, so pass on back. One thing I do want to point out, though, it was funny to see how Medvedev was blaming the clay and how he was really frustrated on the surface. I read something on Twitter that said, if you cheat out on a surface on tour, the player shouldn't deserve to win. I think that's a very hot take. I don't necessarily remember the exact words of it, but it seems unfair when I think the person was trying to reiterate that it's unfair for players to skip out on a surface if they don't like it. But they have to get better on it, and Medvedev is the living proof of that. He hated playing on the clay. He said it out loud. His racket against the clay, he absolutely despises the surface. So seeing the memes that came out of that was a lot of fun to watch. I highly recommend you guys checking that out. It's been a fun week of just watching tennis. Benoit Paire even won a round. That was shocking, but he's back. Good to see him back as well. But I hope you guys do have a great rest of your week. Do enjoy the Rome Internazionale. Highly recommend you go watching our vlogs that we did in 2019. You can click right here. And I hope everyone stays safe. Wash your hands, wear a mask. Check us out on all our social medias, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, as well as our website, tweenertennis.com. I hope to see you guys next time. Enjoy the rest of your week. Thanks, guys.